After long and intense negotiations, I have finally done it. That's right, I am officially an American hero. I have officially acquired DEI, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Thanks to a small loan of $20 million, I was able to purchase it for just a little over $18 million. It seemed like a great investment. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is coming off of a 6-win season and almost won a championship, but here's the thing. He was the only DEI driver in the chase. My plan is to have not just one, but all 3 of our entries become extremely competitive. That's right, DEI is returning to 3 full-time teams. Martin Truex Jr. is moving up to the Cup Series from Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Busch Series team after winning the 2004 championship. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team will remain the same, as well as Michael Waltrip's. The difference is we're not only going to invest a ton of capital, but we're gonna undo the unthinkable. They were about to do a full team swap between the 8 and 15 before I purchased them. Boy, that could have turned out badly. Anyways, we are going to give everyone the best equipment possible. Now, why Dale Earnhardt Jr. had worse equipment than Martin Truex Jr.? I'm just gonna say there might have been some personal feelings. Also, Teresa, why are you still here? Get out. Anyways, let's kick off the 2005 season. We now have all of the resources to go up against the best of the best with not just 1, but 3 full-time teams. Now, to kick off the season, Dale Earnhardt Jr. continued his winning streak in the NASCAR Busch Series on super speedways, winning the season opener at Daytona, and actually went on to sweep the other 2 super speedway races. Those wins definitely kept Junior Nation happy because coming off of a 6-win season with this whole team restructuring in the Cup Series, let me just say, it's gonna be a bit of a process. The first quarter of the season had Kevin Harvick winning the Daytona 500, Biffle at Fontana, Stewart at Las Vegas, followed up by Newman at Atlanta, then Mark Martin getting a win at Bristol, Jeff Gordon at Martinsville, Greg Biffle going back-to-back at Texas, and Phoenix, and ending off with Gordon winning at Talladega. After the first quarter, Tony Stewart is leading the point standings, but we are on the outside looking in. Junior Nation is seething, but take a look at the overall team performance. Michael Waltrip and Martin Truex Jr. are in the top 15 with a realistic chance of also making it. Also, take a look at the stat lines. Junior and Waltrip's stats are nearly identical. They even have the same best finish, being 4th place. Martin Truex Jr. doesn't have a single top 10, but he's still able to maintain a top 15 points position, and even has a better average finish than Waltrip. Not bad for a rookie. Approaching the second quarter, Jimmy Johnson won at Darlington, Ryan Newman went back-to-back at Richmond and Charlotte, Jimmy Johnson won at Dover, Greg Biffle won at Pocono, Tony Stewart won at Michigan, and Jeff Gordon went back-to-back at Sonoma and Daytona, with Greg Biffle closing out the halfway mark at Chicagoland. At the halfway mark, Greg Biffle is leading Jimmy Johnson by 3 points, but we are finally inside the top 10, although it is barely over Brian Vickers. But hey, Michael Waltrip's maintaining a 13th place points position, and Martin Truex Jr. is barely outside of the top 15. Overall, I'm loving where the team's at. Again, Junior and Mikey's stats are damn near identical, with Junior just barely winning in each category except for wins, which is something we really need right now to help extend the gap from the cutoff line. But Martin Truex Jr., come on, just give me at least 1 top 10, man. Entering the cutoff race at Richmond, Tony Stewart won at Pocono, Jeff Gordon won the Brickyard 400, Tony Stewart went back-to-back at the Glen and Michigan, Ryan Newman won the Sharpie 500 at Bristol, and Greg Biffle won at Fontana. We have a 4-point battle both at the top and bottom of the chase standings. Yeah, we desperately need a win. With our season on the line and Brian Vickers starting really close to us, just finishing ahead of him wasn't going to be enough. I wanted a win, and that's exactly what we did. After starting 16th and having an intense battle with Jeff Gordon and Greg Biffle towards the end, Junior was able to close the deal, ending his losing streak while securing the final chase spot in the process. Now that the points have reset, we can go after a championship. Jimmy Johnson starts the chase off with a win at New Hampshire, Tony Stewart wins at Dover, and Mikey? Oh my god, Mikey? Michael Waltrip wins at Talladega. We've still been strong on super speedways, but we haven't been able to close the deal lately. But with the help from Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 15-8 bring it home 1-2 at Talladega. Tony Stewart goes on to win at Kansas, and to close out the first half of the 2005 chase, Dale Earnhardt Jr. holds off Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman in an epic final lap finish to score his second Cup Series victory of the season and put himself back in the championship conversation. Junior Nation doesn't hate me all that much anymore, now do they? Now we're still over 100 points behind Tony Stewart, and one mistake will send us falling, but perhaps after all we've been through just trying to make the chase for the Cup, perhaps we can pull off one of the greatest comebacks in NASCAR history. Ryan Newman wins at Martinsville, Jimmy Johnson wins at Atlanta, Greg Biffle wins at Texas, Tony Stewart wins at Phoenix, and to close out the 2005 season, Greg Biffle wins at Homestead. And your 2005 champion is Tony Stewart. Yeah, just like in real life. So much for that comeback of ours. We cratered all the way down to 9th. But hey, at least we beat the defending Cup Series champion. Pretty solid season for Mikey, finishing 13th. And Martin Truex Jr. didn't win Rookie of the Year, wasn't even close, but hey, he finishes 17th in points. And here's how the rest of the standings looked. Yeah, I know, there I am in 43rd, NASCAR bust, but it'll be interesting to see which fantasy drivers take over. But for the 2006 season, with Mark Martin and Terry Labonte retiring, there are no replacements.
Hey man, now I'm sure you've heard about all these old fogies that are retiring from the circuit.
Ugh, Ace has been trying to get me to convince Michael Waltrip to retire, to have one of his younger drivers take over. I'm not interested, I haven't returned his calls. To close out 2005, DEI is in a much better place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. ends the season with 3 poles, 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 16 top 10s. Mikey had 2 poles, a win, 4 top 5s, and 11 top 10s, while Martin Truex Jr. only had 2 top 10s. Looking at their average start and finishes, as well as their best finish records, it's pretty safe to say that this season was much better than real life 2005. Am I right? But I'm still not satisfied. I want to bring DEI a championship, and damn it, I'm going to do whatever it takes. While there were some bumps along the way, it was overall a solid season. I'd say the worst thing I had to deal with was the whole Brickyard 400 incident between Mikey and Truex. They got together coming to the white flag, and Truex wasn't really happy. Don't worry, we handled it internally. Anyways, let me know down in the comments what your predictions are for DEI in 2006. Can we bring home a championship, or are we destined to have a bad season? And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.